Hi everyone, welcome to 𝗖𝗵𝗵𝗺. We are discussing the respiratory system and this is your faculty and mentor in the subject of microbiology, Dr. 𝗵𝗺𝗺. This session we are more concerned with atypical pneumonia. So I told you that when it comes to pneumonia, one presentation is a typical pneumonia. Typical pneumonia means the infection of lung, and typically the features are going to be that of pneumonia. Typically the features are going to be that which are pertaining to respiratory system only. Whereas if you see atypical, so atypical pneumonia means the features are going to be respiratory system plus others also. For example, if I just give you an example of Legionella, so Legionella is responsible for having the flu-like symptoms, fever and cough. That's actually a respiratory system, but along with that there is myalgia. That means there is a body pain also which is happening with the Legionella. Similarly, I hope that you know about Mycoplasma. So there is a pneumonia along with some other features, right? Just like the perihepatitis, just like the urethritis. Okay, so one meaning is like they have got other features. Then typical pneumonia means pneumonia is typical of having fever. I mean the clinical features, the clinical presentation of pneumonia typically is fever, cough. Okay, this is the typical clinical feature which is there, and obviously there will be consolidation. Okay, I am writing, there is consolidation seen in the chest X-ray. Now, although I can teach you, but then this is not my domain to show you the consolidation in the chest X-ray. Okay, you can just imagine as if a white color circular rounded consolidative shadow that is formed in the chest X-ray. These are the typical features, whereas atypical ones have got some atypical presentation in the chest X-ray. Okay, that's why they are called as atypical ones. So this is mostly of a domain of medicine. You can ask medicine faculty, or I will request medicine faculty that we both can work together a combined vertical integrative session on typical and atypical pneumonia. Still, if you are unable to understand, you can comment in the chat box. I'll give you the reply there and then. So what are the organisms responsible for atypical pneumonia? These are Mycoplasma, Chlamydia and Legionella mainly. Otherwise, there are so many organisms doing that, but mainly you have got Mycoplasma, Chlamydia and Legionella. So first of all, we will discuss about Chlamydia. Please ignore this numbering, Chlamydia. So remember, Chlamydia also called as Chlamydia trachomatis, Chlamydia 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃, and multiple names of Chlamydia are there. But whatever it is, Chlamydia is an obligate intracellular parasite, which is an energy parasite. It cannot make the ATP, right? For example, in a house, there is a father, there is a son. There is a father, there is a son. Until some certain age, son can't earn the money. Son has to live with the father, okay, in a same house. But Chlamydia, my dear friends, is an obligatory intracellular parasite. It's an obligatory intracellular parasite. That means it is an energy parasite. That means it can't make the ATP on its own. So, if you write the spelling of Chlamydia, the C and A are going to tell you that C means can't, A means make the ATP. That's why it is an obligate intracellular parasite. Similarly, Chlamydia can't be grown on the C, say culture media. So, Chlamydia can't be cultured on the routine media. That's why in order to grow it, you need something that is called as yolk sac culture, and McCoy cell lines, yolk sac and McCoy cell lines. Just remember with me a new spelling of yolk. The new spelling of yolk is YOC. So, C for what? C for chlamydia. And if you can see this is YOC, then you will write COY. YOC, COY. So, yolk sac and McCoy cell lines are the easiest ones to remember for chlamydia. And as I always say that C and G look very similar, the stain used for chlamydia is 𝗵𝗄 stain. C for chlamydia, G for 𝗵𝗄 stain. 𝗵𝗄 stain. So, two forms. One is called as elementary body, right? Chlamydia has got two forms. One is the elementary body, that is the EB, and next is the IB. IB is called as intracellular reticulate bodies. Intracellular reticulate bodies. Okay. So, remember that the EB form and the IB form. So, EB form, because it is outside the cell, EB form extracellular outside the cell, it is more infectious. Okay. Because EB body, elementary body, or you can say extracellular elementary body, elementary body, this is more infectious, whereas reticular body, also called as IB body, they are intracellular. So, the main focus is on the replication. So, outside the main focus in the outside main focus infectious, inside main focus replication. Okay. Now, Chlamydia trachomatis have got, okay, just ignore this table, see here, Chlamydia trachomatis have got different serotypes and hence there are different diseases. For example, A, B, BA and C, they are responsible for causing trachoma. Now, trachoma we will discuss in the subject of ophthalmology. The ophthalmology faculty will take your trachoma part. So, trachoma A, B, BA, C is responsible for causing trachoma, and please remember that trachoma is nothing but preventable endemic blindness. So, trachoma is what? It is preventable, it is preventable, it is endemic, it is blindness. So, A, B, C are responsible for causing trachoma. D to K are responsible for causing the genital chlamydiosis. Then it causes conjunctivitis, then it causes pneumonia, and other is, okay, which pneumonia? Infantile pneumonia. Next is swimming pool conjunctivitis. So, genital chlamydiasis, conjunctivitis, infantile pneumonia, swimming pool conjunctivitis. Okay. So, can you see D to K is responsible for causing what? For causing the mostly the eye infection. Okay. So, eye infection means, okay, so what we will do, we will keep this D. So, E, F, G. So, E for what? Just tell me, E for what? E for eyes. Eyes means what? Eyes means they have got two things, eyes say. Eyes say they have got genital chlamydiosis, they have got swimming pool conjunctivitis. Then what is F? Yes, F means fetal. Now, fetal, or you can say infant. Infantile what? Infantile pneumonia. Infantile what? Infantile pneumonia. Okay. And sorry, from eyes it was swimming pool conjunctivitis, from F fetal infantile pneumonia, and then one more is going to be your G. G means genital. So, genital chlamydiosis, this is the next one. Genital chlamydiosis, this is the other one which is important. Coming on to L1, L2 and L3, these three are again important. L1, L2 and L3 responsible for causing lymphogranuloma venerum. So, lymphogranuloma venerum means on the lymph nodes, on the site of lymph nodes, there, okay, lymph nodes, there will be what? There will be granuloma formation. There will be granuloma formation on the lymph nodes, which is called as lymphogranuloma venerum. Okay, that is called as buboes, and obviously it is also going to have genital ulcers. This is very important, although it is important when we will discuss the sexually transmitted infections, but as of now please understand lymphogranuloma venereum is having two things. One is the buboes and other is the genetic ulcers. One more important thing, see urethritis, whenever we call for urethritis, so you know that you have got urethra and the urethra can have inflammation and the inflammation of urethra is called as urethritis. Urethritis can be gonococcal, that is the most common one, that is going to be because of gonococcus, as well as it can be non-gonococcal as well. So, the most common cause of non-gonococcal urethritis is what? It is the chlamydia. Okay. So, remember, as I told you, the C and G look together, so look similar. So, chlamydia starting from C and non-gonococcal urethritis go hand in hand. Also, please remember, whenever you will write pelvic, the last letter is C. So, this is chlamydia. Remember, the most common cause of pelvic inflammatory disease is also what? This is the Chlamydia trachomatis only. Chlamydia trachomatis only. Now, remember, Chlamydia trachomatis has an inclusion body. Okay, has what? They have got inclusion body, and this inclusion body is called as what? 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺 provasic bodies. 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺 provasic bodies. But I just hope I have covered everything. Okay. Yeah. So this is clear to us. L1, L2, L3. Yes. Okay. Let me just teach you other Chlamydophila species. Chlamydia 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗃, as the name is suggesting you, 𝗵𝗵𝗃 means causing psittacosis, that is parrot fever. That means it is responsible for causing fever with the, why? Because I mean it is responsible for causing fever and it is spread with the help of parrots. So it is a parrot fever. And then you have Chlamydia pneumoniae, that is responsible for causing atypical pneumonia and acute respiratory distress syndrome. So atypical pneumonia and acute respiratory distress syndrome A, right? So this is the reason why we are discussing chlamydia in great detail in the respiratory system, because Chlamydia pneumoniae is responsible for causing atypical pneumonia and acute respiratory distress syndrome. Okay. So yes. So one more important thing, the lymphogranuloma venereum, it is being caused by them. So one important thing is, what is the treatment of it? It is the doxycycline, you have to remember. And one more thing that is important is that the buboes are asymptomatic. They are asymptomatic buboes. So please remember, the mnemonic says A, B, C, D. A for asymptomatic is there, B for bubo is there, C for Chlamydia trachomatis is there, and D for doxycycline is going to be there. This is the lymphogranuloma venereum and the buboes. Okay. Coming on to the species, I have to, the special inclusions. But before that, let me just complete this mnemonic: A, B, C, D, then E and F. So E means what? Elephantiasis. So vulval elephantiasis. So remember this, that chlamydia and L1 to L3 is responsible for causing vulval elephantiasis in female, and there is a test, you just remember the name of the test. This is called as 𝗵𝗵𝗺 test positive. Which test positive? 𝗵𝗵𝗺 test positive, which is going to be there. Now Chlamydia trachomatis has some inclusion bodies called as 𝗵𝗺𝗺𝗺 provasic bodies, and then next is lymphogranuloma venereum, which has got 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺 bodies, and then psittacosis is having what? It is having 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺 bodies, LCL bodies. Okay. So can you see, one is Chlamydia trachomatis. So it has got a 𝗵𝗺𝗺𝗺 provasic bodies. Then you have got lymphogranuloma venereum, or you can say the L1 to L3 stain, they have got 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺 bodies. So G to G you can remember. And then psittacosis you can remember with my name, PARV. So P is psittacosis and my surname starting with the letter L. So that is going to be 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺𝗺 bodies. Easy. So how will you diagnose? Simply a 𝗧𝗵 PCR, and the treatment drug of choice is azithromycin. But for LGV you give doxy. So I have told you this D is nothing but doxy, that's important. So for everything else, the drug of choice is going to be azithromycin. And in fact, for all the atypical pneumonias, let me just mention, for all the atypical pneumonia, we give which drug? A for atypical and A for azithromycin. A for atypical and A for azithromycin. Coming on to the next one, mycoplasma. I always teach like this. This is plasma. Okay, this is just like plasma. There is no rigid structure present. Okay, not rigid structure. Why? Because they are devoid of cell wall, and also they have got no flagella. That's why they have called jokers of the plant kingdom. The mycoplasma has got a speciality, and that's why myco has CO, and the importance of CO is very much that CO is nothing but cholesterol. CO is nothing else but the cholesterol. So remember that the myco, M say membrane, M you have got membrane, so and CO is cholesterol. So membrane has got cholesterol in it. I told you there is no flagella, then how it is motile? So the motility or mobility is because of the wide range of fimbriae which is present. Okay, wide range of fimbriae which is present. Now mycoplasma, my dear friends, please understand, mycoplasma you have to understand like this. Okay, I'll make it. So see here, so this is a I'll try, yeah. So this is a egg. Yes, this is what? This is a egg. And if I just give this a mark and make one similarly like this, just a second, I'm trying to make it. Then these becomes what? These becomes two pearls, two earrings with the pearls. Okay, so P for pearls, P for PPLO, E for egg, E for eat, that is Eaton. Now what does this mean? It means that Eaton agar and PPLO agar are the Eaton agar and PPLO agar are the name of agars, and fried egg colonies and pearl eye colonies. Fried egg colonies, easy to remember, and pearl eye colonies are the colonies which are formed in the mycoplasma. Which are formed where? Which are formed in the mycoplasma. Clear? Easy to remember? Yes. But one thing which is of major importance is that these both are, whatever I have told you, these both are belonging to what? To mycoplasma. So how to remember? If I just join these two earrings, they are going to become like this. This is nothing else but the M, this is nothing else but the mycoplasma. Easy? Clear? Good. So mycoplasma is responsible for causing the atypical pneumonia. I have told you that they have got numerous amount of fimbriae, right? Numerous amount of fimbriae. So that's why they love to walk. So first thing you have to remember, they cause walking pneumonia or atypical pneumonia. Now what does walking pneumonia means? This is your homework. Just search it and give down in the comment section. One thing. Second thing, it is also responsible for causing perihepatitis. Okay, second thing is responsible for causing perihepatitis. Okay, I think the mnemonic is clear to you. This is the mnemonic for this. Yeah. Second thing is perihepatitis. That means inflammation. Peri means around. So inflammation around the liver, which is called as Fitz-Hugh-Curtis syndrome. Fitz-Hugh-Curtis syndrome. I had a picture of it. Okay, I'll try to give you the picture. Fitz-Hugh-Curtis syndrome. That's really important. Okay, I'll try to show you when we'll discuss sexually transmitted diseases. Don't worry. So Fitz-Hugh-Curtis syndrome, perihepatitis. Next is the non-gonococcal urethritis. Yes, obviously, one non-gonococcal urethritis was chlamydia. The other for non-gonococcal urethritis is mycoplasma. Okay, and it is also responsible for causing the erythema multiforme. Erythema multiforme. So please remember, very simple trick to remember for mycoplasma is the vowels only. Okay, mycoplasma is the vowels only. A for atypical pneumonia, E for erythema multiforme, erythema, M for mycoplasma, M for multiforme. Okay, I for, yes, I for what, and O for what, and U for what? So U for urethritis, U for urethritis. Okay, so I is inflammation, perihepatic inflammation, that is going to be perihepatitis, right? So A for atypical, E for erythema multiforme, I for inflammation, U for urethritis, O has to do nothing with it, right. How will you stain mycoplasma? Then you have to do the staining of the colonies with the Dines method of staining. That means the microscopic colonies show blue center and brown periphery. Okay, it is going to show what? It is going to show a blue center and there will be brown periphery which is there. Okay, I am not able to find the brown. Now this is like this. Okay, so blue center and brown periphery. This is going to be Dines method of staining. Okay, that means staining of the colonies. Just to make you remember, D for Dines, D for double colors. So there are two colors, the blue one and the brown one, blue center, brown periphery, which is going to be there for mycoplasma. Remember, you can't stain it with any single dye. You have to, you can't stain. Okay, so see why we are using Dines method. Dines method says that one organism you can't stain, but for example they are making a colony. Okay, so then you can say stain it. So C and D come together. C for D for Dines method of staining, and C for what? Yes, C for colony is getting stained. So colony staining, Dines method of staining. Fine. Direct fluorescent method you can use ELISA, PCR, you can use cold agglutination, again important. So I teach you like this, mycoplasma. Okay, mycoplasma. So CO for what? Cold agglutination. Then you have got Streptococcus MG test also. So Streptococcus MG test is another important laboratory diagnosis. Then for any atypical pneumonia, the drug of choice is azithromycin. Yes, you can use ciprofloxacin also. More will be dealt by the faculty of pharmacology. Coming on to the last bacteria, that is Legionella pneumophilia. Now Legionella pneumophilia, Legionella pneumo means what? Pneumo means air. Like pneumonia is the infection of air filled spaces, that is what? That is lungs. So air. So Legionella pneumophilia means air loving. So whenever there will be air which is coming, okay, air which is coming, or there will be, you can say a moisture whenever it is coming, then the Legionella is going to grow. Where will be the moisture? Where there is a lot of water, like for example water handling units, themes parks, right? And air conditioner, cold air, moisture is also going to be there. So air conditioner and water handling unit. Okay, Legionella. Okay, so Legionella, you have to say bye to Legionella. Bye to Legionella. So bye means buffer charcoal yeast extract agar is the agar which is used to grow the Legionella. So tell Legionella bye and it will come to you. So how to grow? Tell Legionella bye and it will come to you. Okay, so Legionella is the one which grows in the charcoal yeast agar. Okay, that's important. And one important thing is, because Legionella, 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗍, media, how are the colonies? Cut glass colonies are there. Cut glass colonies are there for Legionella. Okay, clear? And it is responsible for causing Legionnaire disease, nothing, no rocket science in that, but responsible for pont-like fever. I told you all these things, flu, cough, fever, but myalgia is also going to be there. Okay, so you got it, Legionella, air loving, moisture loving, and very important, remember, Legionella. My dear friends, I have got a huge respect for the doctor fraternity, but being a medico, I can understand the problems what other medicos feel till they grow 28, 29, 30, right? They are what? They are nallas. They don't have work. This is how we, they have work, but they are not being paid very well. This is what I meant to say. So remember, Legionella, very important thing. You are becoming nulla. Why? Because you choose PCB. What is PCB? P for pont-like fever, C for cut colonies, B for 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗍. Okay, so this is how to remember Legionella. Yes, the lab diagnosis is either DFA you do, or you do ELISA, or you do PCR. But one important thing is dietary silver stain. So after PCB, you may I mean you are a doctor. So, doctor means D for dietylyl-silverstain, and the treatment is going to be most common is erythromycin. Otherwise, you can use L for, yes, L for Legionella, L for levofloxacin can be used. So, this was all about the atypical pneumonias, and everything we have discussed is important. Please prepare this topic well. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thanks.